Thank you for taking more time to learn about expecting greatness. Our tagline is using values to make conscious decisions that make greatness and expectations. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you and your organization make decisions, conscious decisions, based on the values that you choose, and in a process that is built to make the greatness an expectation, not by chance. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the source. Where did this program come from? We saw people operating, acting in ways which were not consistent and congruent with what they said were their values. I saw it in the business, and I saw it in the teams in which I coached. And I felt we had to have a process with which to address these things, to give them a singular focus, a common language with which we could communicate with, and then create an environment of support and accountability that would allow them to reach their own greatness. So thus the process of expecting greatness was born, to bring conscious thought to their action. And that's the important part here to understand, is that we're trying to bring conscious thought to the actions that we do so many times a day. So the next part is the why. Why is this important? Why do we want to do this? Partially on your side, because you want to have a positive effect on people's lives and to have them act out their greatest potential. We want that so much for everybody else because we know that it affects our organization in a very positive manner. If each of our people inside the organization, young, old, doesn't matter, are acting in accordance with good values, then the greatest potential of the organization can even be realized. The other reason is that we created the program was to give you a tool to implement the process. This came from a program with which in the business world where I did not have a lot of time. I could not oversee every single step all the time, and I had to give people guidelines with which they could easily follow, chew off in small bites that they could understand and be very consistent across different platforms and different people. And again, this existed the same thing in the sporting environment as it did in the work environment. So it's a process which works in social and personal environments even when you're not able to be there. And really this is why the conscious part of it, when they bring this part into the habits of their lives, they're thinking about values, they're thinking about doing good things, they're consciously thinking about doing the right thing so often that it becomes a natural habit and habitat that they live in. So how do we do this? The first thing is, what makes this program different? There is many different good programs. There's leadership programs, there's business books galore, there's all this stuff that talks a lot about values and different opportunities and processes to know what values are and what's important and how to build an organization around them. The difference here is the step-by-step, compound, immediate implementation process. We go from discussion to implementation immediately. And so the lessons that they have in their mind that we all learn when we hear something, we give tools to put it on the ground right away. That's an important difference, and it creates a revolutionary position of execution. In the end, you get the results that you had always hoped for when you had good ideas come across your desk. The same as time-tested coaching styles. We use the same style as any good coach was. The people put it. They see it, they hear it, they do it, and then the repetition is what allows it to sink in. And then each module, it builds on the previous. This is a process that does not just say, here's what the end should look like and here's where you start. It builds on the process so that they are not feeling that they're overreaching skill steps. They're taking small steps that end up in the perfect results. And so we kind of have all these different results. On the bottom there you see premise and philosophy, and then we talk about the values which build on the premise and philosophy, and then we talk about principles which are built on our values, and then our habits which are built on our principles and our values and our premise and philosophy, and then we create expectations and accountability, and then we have a platform that we can expect greatness, an environment where greatness has surrounded us. And so just like any good strong structure is built, this program is built, and it builds on each other. You can't go and say, what are your principles, without asking what are their values, what is their premise, and what is their philosophy. Same thing, they can't choose values unless they know what they believe and what they want to do. So that's kind of the program and the implementation process. We do a one-time presentation to really introduce everybody to the program, and then behind that is 10 weeks of really not a long of time commitment. It's the time commitment is in the 5 minutes in the multiple millisecond decisions that we make throughout the day for the next 10 weeks. So it really gives us a chance to live the process, not to have to sit in the classroom for days on end and then say go put it to work. We give little bits every week, about 15 minutes a week to work on it and then implement it that week. So then what do you get? We have a complete turnkey step-by-step program. You get the guides, you get implementation guides for every person who is going to be in the process. You get leaders guides, so the people who are guiding the overall program with multiple other people working with them, they actually have questions that guide them through and ask give them different tips that people might be struggling with this, or they might have a question about this, and so we help them get that. We have YouTube videos, and the YouTube videos guide the implementation process every single week. So nobody has to make a presentation or anything every week. All they have to say is, here's the link, click the YouTube video, and go ahead and watch it. We send weekly emails, just reminders, tips, things that give you little insights, positive messages, and they'll come out every week. You can follow them also on the blogs. We have phone and email support at any time. You can email us, and we'll probably respond within the next 20 minutes, unless it's the middle of the night. It might be the next morning, but we will get very quick and solid response on how to, if you have issues that come up and how to deal with, and we can help that. And then you get follow-up from Epitome. We will actually contact you and say, how's it going? What have you learned? Any critiques you might have that you would like to see something different, or like to see something different in the video, or any suggestions. And then also, to really help, we help the preparation process in getting into this program. So the presentation and beyond, what we'll do is we'll come in and we'll do a full presentation for parents, athletes, siblings, any employees. We have implementation guides for them. And then we do weekly follow-up. We're here to support you, the leaders, and with the leader's guide, with the time commitment, we minimize the time commitment that you have to put in. Your time commitment is doing your own program at 15 minutes a week, and then we suggest having a kind of a group meeting that you talk about what everybody thought and how they implemented, and any challenges, struggles, positives, negatives, and what lessons they might have learned once a week. And that's another 10 to 15 minutes as well. So not a lot of time commitment, but gives a lot of opportunities for people to live it out. And then we ask that you just lead by example, and that really helps the process take flight. So when I call tomorrow, or when I visit, we will actually talk about what the benefits are. Cost benefits, productivity benefits, quality of work environment benefits, conscious value-based decision actions, and that process really helps us understand exactly what we want to do, and we'll open up to any additional questions that you might have on how to apply benefits and to your organization. So thank you for taking your time. I really appreciate it, and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you.